water's edge is always a place of tension, where a single step can change everything. The crocodile understands this boundary, where even the smallest opening can become an advantage. It does not need to chase over long distances, only wait until a target moves within reach. As gentle ripples spread across the surface, what is truly waiting beneath the water? Across the African savanna, the impala stands as a symbol of agility and constant vigilance. Its lightweight body, flexible legs, and ability to leap nearly 9 feet allow it to evade many ground predators. Mature bucks also carry gracefully curved horns, measuring more than 2 feet. They use them both to compete for dominance and to defend themselves when danger is detected early. As temperatures rise across the sun-baked plains, impalas regularly return to familiar watering holes. Yet the very place that provides life also marks a dangerous boundary. The moment one lowers its head to drink, its field of view becomes temporarily limited. Beneath the murky surface, a crocodile silently closes the distance before surging upward once the timing is right. The first attempt does not unfold perfectly. The mistimed ambush gives the impala a chance to reach the shoreline. The rest of the herd quickly scatters away from the water's edge. Yet along this boundary, danger rarely ends after a single missed opportunity. The situation grows even more tense as a second crocodile moves into the area. The impala continues searching for stable footing. It heads toward shallower water, where its advantage on land still offers hope. Meanwhile, the ambush predators maintain steady pressure from the water's edge. They patiently wait for the right moment to gain the advantage. As the distance from shore increases, speed and powerful leaps become less effective. A single moment of lost rhythm is enough to shift the balance. The next approach is far more precise. It allows the crocodile to maintain the advantage in deeper water. After repeatedly adjusting its timing, the encounter ultimately turns in favor of the patient ambush predator. Along the water's edge, survival always depends on unwavering awareness. Once every movement fades into silence, the crocodile quietly slips beneath the river's surface, as though it had never been there. Renowned for their relentless pack strategy, African wild dogs have earned the respect of many larger predators. Each individual weighs around 70 pounds. When they work together, their combined pressure becomes remarkably difficult to predict. Even so, that confidence can be tested when the entire pack becomes absorbed in a pursuit. After a prolonged chase, the prey rushes into the water in search of an escape. The wild dogs slow their pace, spread out, and watch the riverbank. One young pack member steps too close to the soft mud, where the boundary of safety quickly narrows. Beneath the murky water, A crocodile blends almost perfectly with the muddy bottom as it waits for the right moment. Unlike the wild dogs, which rely on teamwork, the crocodile needs only a single unexpected moment to change the outcome. In less than a second, its powerful tail drives it forward with explosive speed. The sudden surge catches the pack off guard. The young wild dog is left in the most vulnerable position. The pack immediately changes its strategy. They bark loudly, spread into formation, and create an opening for their companion to retreat toward dry ground. The encounter ends with the crocodile maintaining control of the river, while the wild dogs withdraw from the water's edge. A difference of only a few feet is enough to tip the balance of survival. In East Africa, nearly 1.5 million wildebeest take part in the Great Serengeti Mara migration. To reach seasonal grasslands and water, they must cross a river filled with hidden risks. Weighing nearly 500 pounds, each animal carefully tests every step through the shallows. The movement of the herd awakens the ambush predators waiting beneath the surface. After a long journey, the migrating herd reaches the riverbank to quench its thirst. A sense of tension fills the air because Nile crocodiles can remain almost motionless beneath murky water for weeks. They do not waste energy chasing prey across open ground like lions or leopards. Instead, they patiently wait for an animal along the edge of the herd to drift out of formation. As one wildebeest moves farther into the river, a crocodile silently closes in from below. Within moments, its powerful tail propels it upward and draws the encounter into deeper water. In the middle of the river, the wildebeest loses the firm support of solid ground. The resistance of the water greatly reduces both its speed and its ability to leap. After weeks of patient waiting, the advantage shifts to the crocodile. Even so, thousands of other wildebeest continue pouring into the river. Most of the herd successfully reaches the opposite bank. The river crossing stands as one of the defining moments of survival in the Serengeti Mara ecosystem. There, every stretch of water serves as a reminder that life always moves forward, alongside risk. Across the vast Pantanal wetlands, calm waters conceal silent encounters beneath the surface. This is where caimans measuring around 8 feet glide through narrow channels, while jaguars dominate the forests along the riverbanks. Weighing up to 200 pounds, the jaguar ranks among the most powerful predators in South America. Yet in these flooded landscapes, strength matters only when paired with perfect timing. As the dry season begins, the Pantanal changes day by day. Shrinking pools leave fewer escape routes, forcing caimans to appear more often in shallow water. Along the edge of the vegetation, the jaguar lowers its body and blends almost seamlessly into the shadows and the riverbank. It remains patient because a single moment of inattention is enough to create an opportunity. The stillness is broken by a sudden burst from the dense brush. The caiman immediately swings its powerful tail to maintain distance and slow the approach. But the jaguar has already gained the advantage from the very first move, leaving its opponent, weighing around 120 pounds, at a disadvantage in the shallow water. The encounter comes to an end, reinforcing the jaguar's position in the Pantanal, where the dominant predator is the one that knows exactly when to make its move. Across the rivers of sub-Saharan Africa, calm waters often conceal a remarkably strict natural order. Hippos spend most of the day in the water, where bodies weighing more than 3,000 pounds allow them to dominate familiar stretches of river. The Nile crocodile takes a different approach, remaining almost unnoticed beneath the murky water, with adults growing to nearly 20 feet in length. Under normal circumstances, a crocodile does not seek a direct confrontation with a fully grown hippo. Its immense size, powerful jaws, and strong territorial instincts make the hippo a high-risk opponent. But along the edge of the herd, where a young calf briefly moves beyond its mother's protection, the tension begins to shift. From beneath the cloudy water, the crocodile closes the distance one careful movement at a time. The most critical moment comes when only a few feet remain, close enough for every movement to matter. At that instant, the mother hippo moves forward, stirring the water and prompting the hidden predator to reassess the situation. Faced with that response, the crocodile chooses not to prolong the encounter. It quietly withdraws from the stretch of water where the hippo holds the advantage, choosing caution over a slim opportunity. In the wild, survival is not always about pushing farther. It is often about knowing exactly when to stop. If the crocodile is the master of underwater ambushes, the lion is the symbol of power on land. An adult male can weigh more than 400 pounds with powerful muscles and sharp reflexes across the savanna. But between the grassy shoreline and the river, each species' advantage is always shaped by the terrain. At times, a lion crosses a river or approaches food near the shoreline, where every step becomes more cautious. Beneath the surface, the Nile crocodile blends almost completely into the muddy water, waiting for the slightest misjudgment in distance. Even a single unusual ripple is enough to make the lion pause, as a bite force measured in thousands of psi gives the crocodile a clear advantage in deep water. Away from the water, the crocodile loses that advantage and may be pressured by a lion from as far as 50 feet away without the need for a direct confrontation. After several tense minutes, both animals withdraw on their own, showing that there is no absolute ruler in the natural world. Few places on Earth challenge a predator as harshly as the Arctic. Here, the polar bear faces hunger, freezing cold, melting ice, and competition from its own kind. Strength allows it to overpower prey, but intelligence is what carries it through the long frozen season. Behind its majestic presence lies a remarkable strategy for survival. With its bright white skin and a length of about 15 feet, the beluga whale stands out against the icy seas. Its rounded head, gentle social nature, and tolerance for extreme cold allow it to thrive in northern waters. Yet its striking appearance and group movement also draw the attention of predators on shore. Can this iconic marine species overcome the survival challenges ahead? At the mouth of melting glacial rivers, tides rise and fall by about 6 feet with each cycle. A polar bear stands on a rocky outcrop, patiently watching as belugas are guided into shallow water by the current. Although they can hold their breath for nearly 20 minutes, they must surface regularly to breathe. Timing that rhythm, the bear waits for a ripple to appear, then makes a swift grab the moment a target surfaces. Meanwhile, less fortunate bears turn to seaweed instead of securing such a rich meal. That contrast highlights a defining truth of survival. Success is never rushed. It belongs to those that understand their environment and move in step with its natural rhythm. As summer ice melts and temperatures approach nearly 50 degrees Fahrenheit, the polar region enters a cycle of unpredictable change. Across fractured sea ice, the polar bear is forced to leave its familiar hunting grounds. It moves inland, searching for new spaces to survive. No longer relying solely on seal fat, this Arctic predator turns toward steep coastal cliffs. It crosses cold, slippery rock to reach seabird nests above. Large paws with thick, gripping pads help it maintain balance on terrain not suited for such a massive body. Even as parent birds defend their eggs with determination, the bear does not retreat. At river mouths, where the water is only about 3 feet deep, the polar bear shifts its strategy again. It patiently waits for fish moving upstream, then guides them toward narrow gaps with controlled splashes. Here, strength gives way to patience and an ability to read the terrain. This flexibility is more than adaptation. It reflects a broader shift in nature. From a dominant hunter of the sea ice, the polar bear becomes an opportunistic survivor, seizing every chance to endure. Caribou begin a migration of thousands of miles each year, following grasslands that shift with the seasons. Their double-layered coat retains heat, while wide hooves act like natural snowshoes. This allows them to move across soft snow, thin ice, and frozen ground. However, when herds gather in large numbers around October, new opportunities emerge for coastal polar bears. With an exceptionally keen sense of smell, the hunter can detect signs from over 5 miles away across the snowy plains. It can reach speeds of about 25 miles per hour on land, focusing on weaker individuals within the moving herd. As caribou cross icy rivers, the formation begins to stretch, even as the group works to protect those that fall behind. At this moment, the polar bear takes advantage of slippery banks, ice edges, and shallow waters to track the slowest target. When the distance closes, it makes a series of short advances, gradually narrowing the gap. Once the target is secured, the bear pulls its catch onto the shore to regain energy. Each successful hunt provides thousands of calories, helping it maintain strength for the next stage of survival. Across the vast white tundra, a rare encounter unfolds between a solitary giant and a resilient pack of gray wolves. With its immense size, the bear often holds the advantage on icy terrain. But when a group of 6 to 8 wolves appears, the balance shifts beyond individual strength. From the outer edges, the wolves spread out and form a flexible encirclement. They do not rush in directly, instead taking turns to probe and test the bear's reactions. Under steady pressure, the bear pivots, lowers its center of gravity, and adopts a defensive stance to conserve energy. Despite their numerical advantage, the wolves understand the risk of facing a fully grown bear. The standoff gradually eases as each side recognizes its limits. In the Arctic, strength is not defined by aggression, but by knowing when to stop. In another moment, a small husky crosses paths with the towering white giant on open snow. Despite its agility, it remains at a clear disadvantage against the largest land predator. That moment serves as a reminder that the boundary of safety can be very fragile. Amid the frozen kingdom, seal-breathing holes serve as rare gateways connecting the deep ocean to the ice above. For the polar bear, each crack in the thick ice is a vital lifeline. It is here that it searches for seals, a rich source of fat that helps sustain its body in sub-zero conditions. At hunting grounds where seals rest on the ice, the polar bear reveals its mastery of stealth. Its thick, insulating fur blends into the snowy landscape, allowing it to approach without alarming its prey. Drifting ice floes are also used as floating platforms, carrying the predator across icy waters to close the distance. When the gap is small enough, it bursts forward in a strike that lasts only seconds. The bear drives its full weight into the attack, securing the target before the seal can slip back into the safety of the water. If successful, the calories from the fat can sustain it for up to about 10 days. But the hunt does not always take place on open ice. At times, the bear uses its keen sense of smell to detect signs of prey from nearly 20 miles away, then waits in ambush beside a breathing hole for hours. Although the success rate is often below 15%, each attempt remains a test of patience and survival instinct in a constantly shifting, frozen world. In the wild, the walrus stands as a formidable rival. With a massive body exceeding 2,000 pounds, thick skin, and tusks reaching up to about 3 feet, it forms a powerful living shield. They do not rely on defense alone. They can respond as a group, turning an entire resting site into a barrier that is difficult to penetrate. From the edge of the ice, the polar bear approaches and observes the tightly packed herd. It studies every gap, searching for a blind spot and waiting for a young or weaker individual to drift away from the group. When an opening appears, a sudden advance is launched. But the wall of tusks and collective pressure quickly makes close-range tactics ineffective. The target retreats into deeper water, leaving the hunter behind with fatigue and the risk of going without food. As hope fades, a keen sense of smell leads it to what remains from a young individual separated during the herd's movement. Persistence in that moment creates an unexpected opportunity. Nature maintains its balance by rewarding those that endure. At times, the greatest threat to a polar bear does not come from the environment, but from its own kind. Survival pressure turns every encounter into a tense test, demanding constant awareness. Even across familiar ice, unexpected risks can emerge at any moment. The first situation unfolds during lean seasons, when males weighing around 1,200 pounds travel long distances in search of energy. Faced with an opponent twice her size, a mother bear positions herself as a barrier. keeping her cub behind her. She gives a low warning, shifting her stance and stepping back carefully, guiding the cub away from danger. If that defense is broken, the cub may become vulnerable, and the mother's resolve becomes most evident. In another scenario, males confront each other to gain mating advantage. They display size and endurance through pushing and grappling, testing each other's limits. Most encounters end when one chooses to yield, conserving energy rather than prolonging the contest. Afterward, the dominant male becomes more relaxed, interacting calmly with the female on the ice, reflecting adaptability and completing the natural cycle of survival. After the intense moment passes, the crocodile returns to its familiar stillness. It reminds the natural world that ancient instincts remain a remarkable strength. The fastest animal does not always hold the advantage in every challenge. Those that know how to stay hidden and wait for the right moment often shape the final outcome. If you enjoyed this journey into the wild, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more unforgettable wildlife stories.